Unit 2. Work and Money. Listening. You will hear a radio interview with a forensic scientist offering advice to students interested in pursuing a career in this field. For questions 1 to 9, complete the sentences with a word or short phrase.
The field of forensic science has gained popularity in the last decade because of TV programs such as CSI, Waking the Dead and Cracker, which portray it as being glamorous and cool. The reality is, of course, completely different. Here to provide us with an insight into forensic science as a career and to dispel some of the myths created by various TV series is leading forensic scientist Dr. Robert Saunders. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, and thank you. Let me start by saying that forensic science is nothing like it is on TV. Our labs and equipment are definitely not as flashy as those on CSI. And while our staff are certainly experts in their fields, they are not knowledgeable about every subject like the cast members on the show. The forensic scientists on these shows manage to solve crimes in a matter of minutes. This is not the case in real life. Searching and examining the scene of a crime for clues to support a criminal case is a slow, painstaking process. I do agree with one thing shown on TV, though. Forensic scientists do often have to work very unsociable hours. For instance, you might be called to examine a crime scene at 2 a.m. on a freezing cold winter's night and have to spend hours outside going over the scene looking for anything that might help solve the crime. This might look exciting on TV, but actually doing it is a different matter.
How would you define forensic science?
Forensic science is the application of the field of science to the law. We use the science part to solve crimes. The evidence that we collect is analysed and then presented in a court of law so the jury can make a decision about the guilt or innocence of a person. This aspect of the job is the most satisfying, because that's when you realise that all the hours of hard work you have spent on a case have really been worth it. As a forensic scientist, you are doing the public a service, and that gives you a great sense of achievement.
OK, and what qualities does one need to be a forensic scientist?
To work in forensics, you need to have a good background in science and a lot of patience and perseverance. Also, you need to be a good communicator, both orally and in writing, because you may have to appear in front of a jury and explain complex scientific ideas in layman's terms. You should be a team player, as you will work closely with the police, other forensic scientists and crime officers.
And what qualifications and experience are needed to become a forensic scientist?
The minimum qualification required is a science degree. You don't have to study a forensic science degree. However, many universities are now offering forensic science as an undergraduate course. Competition for forensic jobs is fierce. We had 500 applicants this year for entry-level positions, and we were only able to take on 10. What can make you stand out from the crowd is relevant work experience in a lab. I can't stress this enough. If you are serious about a career in this area and you don't already have some lab experience, you should be thinking about arranging to do this as soon as possible. A good option is to volunteer your services to a local scientific laboratory in your area.
And what about career prospects?
In terms of career prospects, forensic science encompasses many different areas. And due to its interdisciplinary nature, there are many career options available. You can work for the police force, in private labs, or teach.